Hi, my name is Curt Hagman, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors for San Bernardino County. And in San Bernardino County, vision of the county is very important to us and our staff to help work for our residents to make a better life. And what better vision we have but a special guest, Astronaut Jose Hernandez, who's with us today. It's very much an honor to meet you today and be part of hearing your story. And you have roots, so I guess it's a welcome back to San Bernardino County. Can you explain a little bit of your roots here in San Bernardino County?
Absolutely, Chairman. You're right. This is kind of an old stomping ground of mine. My parents came from Mexico, and they were migrant farm workers. And when we came along, they would, of course, drag us along as migrant farm workers. And one of our stops was here in Ontario, Chino area, more particularly in Chino, where it was the first stop, and we would work in the strawberry harvest. And during school time, we would go to school, but Saturday and Sundays, we were out there picking strawberries with the family. And we would stay here about 2 months and then move on to Central California, then Northern California, and then go back to Mexico. And the next year, we would repeat that process.
That sounds great, and probably the same story that many of our Californians have of migrant workers and stuff like that. But at some point, you wanted to become something different than a migrant worker. You wanted to become an astronaut. So tell us about that.
That's correct. Well, the first thing that happened is one of my second grade teachers in our last stop in Stockton convinced my parents to stay in one place. So we started making Stockton our home. We still went to Mexico, but shorter periods of time. And then when I was a 10-year-old, I was fortunate enough to see the very last Apollo mission, Apollo 17. And watching it on an old black and white TV, if you can picture a 10-year-old boy holding on to rabbit ear antennas for dear life, that was me. And seeing astronaut Gene Cernan walk on the surface, I mean, that was my calling. I knew that's where I wanted to be.
You knew you wanted to be at 10 years old. That's so awesome. But how'd you get there? You were 10 years old. You're sharing how you made it from your vision to become the goal.
Well, I think I had parents that, in spite of only having a third grade education, they provided an environment that was conducive to getting a good education in our house. We didn't have much of anything, but man, the expectations were there that we were to do our homework and to get good grades and to go to college. And that evening, when that dream was first conceived of me wanting to be an astronaut, when Gene Cernan was walking on the moon, I was fortunate enough to share it with my dad, and he shared with me a simple 5-ingredient recipe. He said, "You really want to do this?" He says, "Follow this 5-ingredient recipe." He said, "Define your goal, recognize how far you are, draw yourself a roadmap so you know how to get there, prepare yourself accordingly with a good education, and the same effort you put out picking fruits and vegetables," he pointed to my books and says, "Put it there, and then put it in your job. Always give more than what people expect out of you." Mix that up, and that's the 5-ingredient recipe to succeed. And I add a 6th ingredient, Chairman. I add perseverance, because typically human tendency is to give up after 2 or 3 failures. And I'm here to tell people, don't give up. Because NASA rejected me not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 times. It was 11 times. It wasn't until the 12th time that NASA invited me to be part of the 19th class of astronauts.
That's awesome. It's such an inspiration for all of us who sometimes seems the goals may be out of reach, just to work hard. And give us your 6 points again, because I think that's the main message we want to pass on to our team.
I mean, the 6 points they're very simple. It says, define your goal.
Define what the goal is.
And recognize how far you are. And then draw yourself a roadmap from when you know where you're at to where you want to go, because you have to know the way. And then prepare yourself according to the challenge. In other words, get the right training, get the right education, and then develop a work ethic second to none.
Work hard and don't give up.
That's right.
That's very inspirational. I really appreciate you coming to our county, coming back home, sharing your life experience, giving us inspiration for our visions that we all individually have and collectively have for over 23,000 county team members. So thank you so much. It's been an honor, and I really appreciate your story and spending the time with us.
The honor's been mine, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you.